The morning air was crisp and cold against my face, a welcome relief after the suffocating heat of the emergency room. I had just finished a 16-hour shift, my body aching, my eyes burning with exhaustion. All I wanted was to go home, collapse into bed, and forget the parade of trauma and tragedy that had filled my night. I was 3 steps away from the revolving doors when my phone buzzed. The nurse's station. My heart sank. Dr. Lawson, you need to come back immediately. We just got a critical trauma case. The chief of surgery is already here. He wants you in the OR. Now. My instincts kicked in. Years of training, years of muscle memory. I turned, ready to run back inside. And then the world flickered. Glimmering, ribbon-like letters appeared in the air before me, scrolling in a language I could read perfectly, though it came from nowhere. Don't go into the OR. Don't touch this patient. Asterisk, asterisk. The patient is already brain dead. They're pulling you in to take the blame for the chief's daughter. Asterisk, asterisk. This family is powerful and ruthless. If you go in, your career is over. You'll go to prison. Your parents will be destroyed. Asterisk, asterisk. Run. My feet froze on the pavement. The wind held around me, cold and indifferent. I felt a chill that had nothing to do with the temperature. I had no reason to believe this. It was absurd, impossible, a hallucination born of exhaustion. But I remembered the glitch, the flicker, the words that had appeared from nowhere and disappeared just as quickly. I looked down at the ground. A few feet away, a section of the sidewalk was cordoned off with flimsy orange netting, an open utility shaft yawning into darkness. I closed my eyes. I took a breath. And I jumped. The fall was brief, but terrifying. I hit the ground hard, pain shooting through my ankle. I lay there for a moment, gasping, listening to the distant sound of traffic above me. I was alive, bruised, battered, but alive. And I had just thrown my entire career into a hole in the ground. Hashtag, 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 chapter 1, the aftermath. Objective commentary, the observer's voice. My name is Dr. Sarah Chun, and I am a psychiatrist, and I have been Dr. Maya Lawson's colleague and friend for over a decade. When I heard she had jumped into a utility shaft in the middle of a shift, I was baffled. Maya was the most grounded person I knew. She didn't have breakdowns. She didn't make rash decisions. She was the calm in the storm, the steady hand in the chaos of the ER. But when I saw her in the hospital bed, her ankle wrapped in a cast, her eyes haunted and distant, I knew something had changed. Maya, I said, sitting beside her. What happened? She shook her head, her voice barely a whisper. I don't know how to explain it, Sarah. I saw something. Words. They told me to run. They told me the patient was a trap. A trap? She nodded. The chief of surgery's daughter. They said I was being set up to take the blame for her mistakes. They said I would go to prison. They said my parents would die. I felt a chill run down my spine. Maya, that's a lot to process. But you know how it sounds. I know, she said. I know it sounds insane, but the moment I jumped, I felt something change. The air, the light, and then I heard a crash from above. The netting, it collapsed. The shaft I was in saved me. But if I hadn't jumped, I would have been right under it. I stared at her. You think someone was trying to hurt you? I don't know what to think, she said. But I know I'm not going to let this go. I'm going to find out what happened. And I'm going to make sure whoever did this pays. Hashtag, 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 chapter 2. The truth emerges. Objective commentary. The observer's voice. I watched Maya investigate the incident with a determination I had never seen before. She was relentless, methodical, and utterly fearless. She interviewed nurses, reviewed records, and traced connections that no one else had noticed. She discovered that the chief of surgery, Dr. Sterling, had been covering up his daughter's mistakes for years. She was a junior resident who had been involved in several patient deaths, but her father had always managed to bury the evidence. The patient who had been brought in that morning was the latest victim. The young woman had been declared brain dead by DR. Sterling's daughter, who had made a catastrophic error during a routine procedure, instead of admitting the mistake, she had called her father, who had orchestrated a cover-up. Maya had been the scapegoat. She was supposed to take the fall. When Maya confronted Dr. Sterling, he laughed in her face. You think you can stop me, Dr. Lawson? You're nothing. You're a nobody. I have connections, money, power. I can destroy you with a single phone call. Maya smiled, a cold, hard smile. I don't need to stop you, Dr. Sterling. I just need to expose you. Hashtag, 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 chapter 3, the hunt. Objective commentary, the observer's voice. Maya didn't stop at the hospital. She knew that Dr. Sterling's reach extended far beyond the medical community. He had friends in high places, allies in the media, and a fortune that could buy silence. But Maya had something he didn't have. She had the truth. She started leaking information to journalists who had been investigating the Sterling family for years. She provided documents, records, and testimony from witnesses who had been too afraid to speak out. The media caught fire. Headlines screamed about the medical dynasty of corruption. Dr. Sterling's reputation was shredded. His daughter was arrested. His allies abandoned him. When the dust settled, Dr. Sterling was stripped of his medical license. His assets were frozen, and he was facing criminal charges. His daughter was convicted of manslaughter. Maya had won. Hashtag, 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 chapter 4, the aftermath. Objective commentary, the observer's voice. Maya's victory was not without cost. She had made powerful enemies, and she had to live with the knowledge that people had died because of the Sterling family's corruption. But she also found purpose. She became a whistleblower, a voice for the voiceless. She founded a program to help doctors who were threatened or intimidated by powerful figures in the medical establishment. She also found peace. The visions that had haunted her, the glimmering words, the flickers of warning, finally stopped. I asked her once if she believed they had been real. She smiled. I don't know if they were real, Sarah, but I know they saved my life, and I'm not going to question that. #### epilogue, the doctor who jumped. It has been 5 years since I jumped into that utility shaft. 5 years since I walked away from a career that was killing me and found something new. I am no longer a practicing physician. I am a whistleblower, an advocate, a voice for those who cannot speak for themselves. I have helped dozens of doctors who were threatened, intimidated, or silenced by powerful figures in the medical establishment. And I have found peace. I still think about the vision sometimes, the glimmering words, the urgent warning, the leap of faith. I don't know if they were real, a hallucination, a premonition, or something else entirely. But I know they saved my life. I don't question it. I just keep moving forward. Final objective commentary, the observer's voice. Maya Lawson's story is a reminder that sometimes the most powerful weapon we have is the truth. IT is a reminder that even in the darkest moments, there is always a choice. It is a reminder that courage is not the absence of fear, but the decision to act in spite of it. She is a hero, not because she jumped into a hole, but because she refused to stay silent. She refused to let the powerful destroy the powerless. She refused to accept a world where justice could be bought. I think about her sometimes, about the woman who trusted her instincts and changed the world. She is an inspiration. She is a force of nature. She is, without a doubt, one of the most remarkable people I have ever met. And her story is just beginning.